And that pretty much wraps up my content. I have some final thoughts, and then I will go ahead and open the Zoom room to those who wish to speak. As I look back on this past year, I'm not a politician myself. I've had no experience in politics prior to the 2016 election. I voted just like everybody else. I voted for who I thought were the best candidates. I've never missed an election since I was 18 years old. But really, it was 2016 that I became involved and went to my first local Democratic Party meeting. And and then as circumstances allowed, I found myself as the chair of our county party. So I didn't receive formal training in any of this. I'm learning along with all the other volunteers who are figuring things out as we go along. But one thing about my personality is that I'm always wanting to learn and grow. There's a lot of things this past year that I wish we had done that we'll make sure that we certainly engage in over the next 2-4 years. Um, a lot of this comes from the input of people like you. I'm very open to feedback. If we fell short in an area, please let me know, and I'll be sure to make sure that we address that going forward. It has been the strangest of strange years. It has been a very compressed time frame, and I think we did a lot of good given the circumstances and time that we had. But as I look into the next couple of years, I really want to do a better job of engaging some of our communities like the LGBTQ community, the Latinx community, youth groups. There are certain groups within our community that have special interest needs and need to be heard, and just even geographical communities we need to get ourselves embedded in. As I was distributing voter guides, I was walking into neighborhoods that I tell you I never would have been found in a million years, not because I was avoiding them, it just I would never have had a reason to be there. And it was eye-opening, absolutely eye-opening. Good people being found around every corner, but also people in need that are found in every corner. And I'm very grateful for that experience. And I want to make sure that once COVID is gone and once we have it under control under a Biden-Harris administration, that we're going to be back out on the streets. We're not just going to be holed up in hotel rooms having breakfast meetings. We're not just going to be doing things on social media. We need to be out on the street corners over these next 2 years, not just during election cycle. We're talking in December and January and February of 2021. We need to be out there in the streets, working with the community, doing roadside cleanup, holding block parties, educating voters, holding sessions, debates, etc. What we have, and this is what I'll conclude with as my final thought, we truly have a battle of messaging. That clip from John McCravey earlier shows you the battle that they're engaged in. It is a battle of disinformation, of taking what we believe and telling others this is what they actually believe. And they are doing a good job of getting that message to stick. You can see it in the comments under Facebook posts. You can see it in the comments under news articles that are just repeats of this negative messaging, and we have to find a way to counter it and counter it in a positive manner. I've learned a lot, I would say, from Senator Floyd Nicholson and his wife Mamie about conducting an honest, high ground campaign. And while my initial reaction to negative campaigning would be to counter it with additional negative campaigning, they really made me take a step back and say, is this what we want our country to be? And I'm really come to appreciate that point of view. So we need to think about how do we battle that messaging? Because at the end of the day, I don't think the problem is Donald Trump or people like him. It's the thousands of people that show up to the rally. They're the ones that put Donald Trump in power. They're the ones that are coming up with the messages or just repeating the messages that and reinforce their preconceived ideas. We see these messages here in Greenwood as well, that Democrats are socialists or communists, and I just see it all over the place. And you cannot attack it in kind. We have to find a more positive, lasting way to change the conversation to something that's more productive. We can certainly disagree with people on the other side of the aisle, but it needs to be a productive disagreement and not a name-calling disagreement. Or I would say an outright disinformation campaign. I don't have the answer on how to do it. All I know how to do is try a million different things and then assess what works and what doesn't, and reinforce things that work and try even newer things and look for different avenues to do this. So I encourage everybody here who has thoughts on this, on how we can win this battle. It's going to take years. There are decades of messaging that are coming from the pulpits of churches, that are coming from community organizations, that we need to undo, or at least have a valid response to. And that could include increasing media presences. It could include educating ourselves. When we see a message like Green New Deal, how many of you are able to coherently and effectively explain what the actual policy is and how it helps us and not hurts us, and whether a Green New Deal is truly something to be afraid of? How easily are we able to counter the message of socialism, which is just a fear buzzword that if you polled 99 out of 100 of those who use that word, they couldn't define what that means. They don't know what it is, but they use it because it is a good scare word. How do we turn that tide? And that's something that I'm going to be reflecting and talking with others about over the course of the next 2 years. Okay, I am going to turn this into a Q&A session. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I am going to turn on my video so you can see me. Hello, everybody. This is what I look like. I'm going to see what I can do to unmute people here. I've never done this before. I'm going to ask all to unmute. So actually what I would like to do is turn it over to Senator Nicholson. If you unmute yourself, you have the floor, sir. And I would love it if you can give some final words here in these last few days.
Thank you, Bill. First, I would like to say good morning to everyone this morning. And first, I would just like to say, I want to personally thank Bill and all the members of the Greenwood Democratic Party for the excellent support you have given me over the last few months in this election. It has been overwhelmingly, and I cannot say thank you enough for everything that you've done. You brought unity, and that's something that's so important, that we be unified. And we are unified, we have one message, and that's what's gonna put us over the top come Tuesday. We are so thankful. Early voting has been a great turnout here. I've seen the lines and everything. I think that is a positive step. People are concerned about our country, our community, and they are taking action. And it's all about working for the people. As we always know, together we can. And we've proven that. We're working together for the improvement in the quality of life of all of the people, not only in District 10, but throughout our entire state and nation. And that's what the Democratic Party is about, improving the quality of life. And that's what I've been about all the years I've been involved in politics. And that's what I'll be about as I continue to be involved in politics. It's about helping everyone. We have to be concerned. Bill, just like you said, you found out some of the things in some of the communities that you visited. People have problems, and it's our responsibility to do whatever we can to help those people that are out there suffering. And that's what the Democratic Party is about. So again, I thank you for the support that you've given me and how we have moved our parties forward and how we're going to move our community and state forward, because we're the ones that make a difference in people's lives. And We have a couple of days left. We're going to go down the stretch. Today, I'm going to McCormick. I'm going to Abbeville, and I end up at the Trunk or Treat over at Magnolia Park. And I just ask everybody to come out and let's get the final boost and make sure that we are successful on Tuesday. Thank you, and may God bless each one of you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you. Gosh, it has been an absolute treat to work by your side, and I feel like I've become a better person just in these last few months from getting to know you and your wife personally and working with your campaign. It's been great. How's everybody else doing out there? Any other comments or questions? I see a lot of faces I don't know. Where are you from if you're not from Greenwood?
I'm from Somerville.
Hey, Rich.
And I'd suggest on the one thing that you were saying about the dialogue and dealing with them is what we need to do is stick to the truth. They're all about misinformation and lies, and we need to stick to the truth and have our facts so we can prove that we're speaking the truth.
Yeah, it's one thing just to get into a yes and no debate, but if you have the supporting facts by your side, that helps out immensely. Doesn't always help out because there are just some people that don't care about facts. You know, they live in a world of alternative facts. You know, I don't know what you do with.
Yeah, in that case, what I've found is the thing to do is don't tell them the facts, ask them questions that require facts, and let them think it out. And when they basically get into circular logic and back themselves into a corner, then hopefully you'll be able to change your mind then.
That's a good point, Rich. I see in the chat room that Adriana from Horry County is on. That's awesome. Welcome, Horry. And I certainly hope to get back out to the coast sometime. I had to skip it this year, but would love to get back out to the beach myself. And Columbia, hello, Tawana from Columbia. I'm absolutely curious how you ended up here on Little Old Greenwood's call. But that's all right, Tawana. If you can't find a way to unmute yourself, that's good. I'm just grateful you're here. Any other questions or comments that people wish to share with me at this time? Okay.
One thing.
Hi, Audrey.
Hi. I will be working at a poll at Dr. May's at the school there. When they did the poll worker training, they did advise us to report any unusual activity or boxes or anything. It is my understanding that they will have
Is it a poll 901?
security will be monitoring the polls, but if you find anything unusual, any boxes or anything, any activity from anybody that looks strange, be sure you report it to the authorities. And you want to keep that number, that voter protection number handy also.
Right. As in business, you know, I operate under the philosophy of hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. You know, so I have faith in our country and our people, but we need to be prepared. The last thing we want to do is be caught off guard. So those are great points. Tawana, hello. You figured out.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome, Miss Columbia. How did you end up on our call?
I was looking to join the Democratic Party, and I don't know, you're the only one that came up. I haven't seen anything in Columbia. I'm like, well, I'm going to sit in and listen to what you all have to say, because I mean, I've been watching CNN faithfully, I think, for 8 months, you know, and it's absolutely crazy what's going on. And I wish I could start something or get involved in starting something to get people educated.
If I'm not mistaken, Columbia is in Richland County, and
right.
They have a very active Democratic Party. So just do a Google search for Richland County Democrats, and I'm sure you'll find them.
Yeah.
but still.
But education is the key.
Yeah, but still.
Because a lot of people are voting for Trump because of that stimulus check. And it's like, well, people need to be educated, and that's the problem.
That is the key, and that's why we have an educator running for the state house. Go, Denise. Hello, Tracy. Glad you could join us. Where are you from? Tracy, I see you on the video. I don't recognize you, and welcome. She might be listening to something else. Okay, if there's any other last comments, now's your chance. Otherwise, we will adjourn this meeting.
Bill.
Sir.
Bill, I would just like to say, don't forget that you can early vote today from 9 to 1. Voter registration office is open 9 to 1 and all day Monday if you don't want to wait on those last Tuesdays. So 9 to 5 Monday. So let's get out and vote. And thank you, Bill, for the great job you've done.
Thank you all. Appreciate your time to spend with us this morning, and let's not let the foot off the gas pedal, right? We can relax on Wednesday, but we cannot relax until then. All right, take care, everybody. Have a blessed weekend.
1 hour.
Thank you for all your work, Jill.
Thank you, Ann. Good to see you.
And thank you.
Other candidates, welcome.